you've grown as an organisation. You've obviously, you're cultivating the culture. That's a big part of it. You're ensuring the fact that that's sustained. But there's challenges when you're growing an organisation. You've doubled the standards, more than doubled the standards. You've got a growth plan. You're diversifying. How do we ensure what your core beliefs are remain what with the growth? Because you've got a team of people now that are now also recruiting. You've got people that you've taken on, and like most cases, you're unlikely to be part of all the recruitment. You can't be there. You have to trust people to do the right thing, to live and breathe your values, but also at the same time, the core vision, the mission, particularly in terms of the differential, keeping that, nurturing that. How do we do that in terms of the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years?
Well, we have various activities through the year in the team. So we do some events where we work together on what are the mission, how can we bring the mission and the vision to life. So we have away days as a team where we bring everybody, and it's mandatory. It's part of the recruitment, so we do those days through the year in order to discuss and develop and support the team so they feel part of the OAL family. But you're absolutely right, Saf. The thing you've got to do is let go as well, haven't you? You've got to trust your people. You've got to give them that autonomy and trust them that they will replicate that culture, that they'll bring to life that mission and vision and those values within themselves, but also be able to communicate that to the new staff that they bring in, so that it doesn't get diluted as you grow. It just gets stronger. And those are the conversations we have. Don't get me wrong, we don't get it right all the time. And we've been through some challenging times. And this year I introduced in January to the team what I called OAL 2.0, because after 3 years and the growth that we'd experienced, it had become apparent to me when I'd had some downtime over Christmas that we couldn't carry on growing and operate in the way we'd always operated. We'd reached that, that tipping point where we needed to do a root and branch review of where we were at, what we were doing, how we were doing it, how the systems worked, how we worked, how our policies and procedures worked. The nuts and bolts needed a review in order to check that they would work and operate in a different way to meet the growing needs of the business growth, the people growth, and the changes. You can't remain the same. You've got to keep changing. You've got to keep diversifying. You've got to keep looking at what is the best way, the most effective and efficient way to work as an organisation. And because we have the whole team every Monday, 9:30, we have an MS Teams meeting where all of us, all the employees come on, and as different new people have joined, they obviously sit there and they think, oh my goodness me, we call it our well-being call. Our coffee, it's our coffee morning. If you were going into the office every day, you'd probably all have a chat as you were making a cup of coffee. And it was one of the things we started during COVID, and we've continued. So 9:30 every Monday morning, you can't get anybody in OAL because we're all on this call, which some people obviously find awful when they first join, because we sit there and we talk about, did you do anything interesting at the weekend you want to share with everybody else? And gradually they open up and they become part of the family. But we have a coffee and we have a chat about about what we all did at the weekend, just as you would do if you were in an office. However, the other part of the call, we talk about, and what does everybody need to know this week, and where are we going, what's happening with OAL 2.0, or anything else that everybody needs to know. And we might arrange follow-up Teams meetings to keep that communication going. And those are the things we've tried to build in. It's how do you create the company of the future when you don't know what the future is going to be.
Canny Conversation Podcast Series 5 by Safaraz Ali.